What the fuck did I just watch? The press conference for Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. Trash. Absolute trash. First thing I want to start with was the fact that when I look at the fights that they're trying to compare this fight to, McGregor, Mayweather, and Pacquiao Mayweather, and these fights that did these huge numbers. When I watched those press conferences and those weigh-ins, it was packed to the brim. Even if you go look at Canelo Mayweather, the weigh-in, the press conference was packed to the brim. It was empty as hell, dry as all get out in that damn arena. I was almost a fan of this Dana White shit, but I think I'm second guessing it at this point, man. First of all, I hate the way he starts these press conferences. Who's got the first question? That shit is fucking trash. Super duper trash. Weak. Who's got the, like, can we at least get a build up? Former junior welterweight champion of the world, former lightweight champion of the world from Omaha. Can we get some build up? Can we get some backstory? Can we get the stuff that we normally would get to hype up the press conference and not just come out with who's got the first question? That is complete garbage. That's trash. Then you got 19,000 people in a single file line trying to answer questions or trying to ask questions to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Then, oh man, listen, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I don't like it at all. It's trash. It is absolutely trash. Then my man from Fight Hype, what's his name? That be on the Portaway podcast. Sean Zytel, he gets up there and has a pissing fucking contest with Dana White about this TKO shit. And I agree with Dana White. This ain't the fucking time for that. We here for Canelo versus Crawford. And we here to ask these motherfuckers some questions because God knows we need this damn press conference hyped up because it was dry as fuck. Excuse my language. I don't even think I did my intro. This shit pissed me off so bad. What's up, fight fans? Your Majesty speaking. Now back to regular schedule programming. I did have a few things that I did notice. First thing was Canelo seemed relaxed, poised as always. Funny as always. Not as funny as normal, but for the most part, whenever he speak English, he kind of funny. Anyway, but Bud to me seemed a little animated. I'm much more used to Bud being laid back, relaxed, more so in that mindset of cool, I got you, I'm gonna show you. You know what I'm saying? But he seemed a little more animated, like he was trying to prove something to the fans. And I get it. A bunch of these fans are Mexican fans, and they probably born them. So maybe he felt the need to push back. I don't have any issues with that at all. But this press conference style, I'm not a big UFC fan, so I don't really watch UFC. I'm not sure if that's how those press conferences go. But I get it. You coming from that sport, but you need to stick to the format of boxing press conference because it is trash. It's super trash. It's almost like you get to the climax before you build up to it, and then it kind of teeters off at the end. I hate it. I hate it a lot. And I know this is a rant video at this point, but I don't really care. I hate it a lot. Hopefully he don't do too many more high level boxing matches where we got to kind of go through this again. But I hated it during the initial press conferences when they were in New York and I think LA. It was trash then and it's still trash. One thing that I did notice, a couple things actually that I noticed. But I'm gonna say this first thing that I noticed was when these people were asking questions, they did ask a few questions that kind of stuck out to me. The first one was Canelo always getting the benefit of the doubt on these scorecards. I absolutely agree. He does. Even in the fight against Bivol, I thought Canelo maybe won 4 rounds. If I think he won 4 rounds, I can't be mad that somebody thought he won 5. So maybe that's not a good fight to you know bring up. But Canelo does always get the benefit of the doubt on these scorecards. And the question that they asked was proposed to Bud was did they think that Canelo being the favorite and getting relatively favorable scorecards, did he think that that would impact the fact? And I'm glad that he didn't, play in on it. I don't want no built-in excuses when it comes to this fight. I want the result to be the result, regardless of what it is. And I want whichever fighter that wins to get the credit they deserve, because when it's a fight of this magnitude and you put that type of work in, if you win, you want your credit. So, and I think it's fair on both sides for them to get the credit that they deserve, whoever wins. But I did like the fact that he didn't play into it. He ain't try to make it a big deal, and that's one of the reasons why I think Bud is one of my favorite fighters, because he keep it real, he keep it a buck, a bean, and I thought that was good. But I do think it's something that we should keep a close eye on, because I do believe, and when I do my breakdown, this will be one of the things that I kind of harp on is I do believe that if there are rounds that are close and there isn't a definitive winner, I do believe that Bud won't get the benefit of the doubt like he would against Madrimov, or like he would against um any of those other fighters that didn't have as big of a name, as big of a cachet as Canelo. I do think that it's going to play a part if there are rounds where he don't clearly dominate the round. I do think a lot of those close rounds will swing towards Canelo, and I think that's something to keep an eye on, especially during the fight. Um, Pretty much. My bad, y'all. I'm in the hood, so I got to make sure you know things are copacetic. But that brings me to my next um topic. Turkey Al Sheik has been the guy who got this fight situated. We saw him in my last video. I brought up not my last one, but one of those videos I did recently. I brought up Turkey being on Crawford's side. He was on Crawford's side in the beginning of this to get this fight situated. But one of the things I'm starting to notice is he's always talking about how much he's paying Canelo. He's always talking about having future business endeavors with Canelo. And I'm starting to notice that he's always sitting right next to Canelo. As I said before, I don't want any excuses. I hope it ain't no risky business or no faulty business going on behind the scenes with this Turkey thing. I just wanted to be a fair fight, man. Like I said, I have not given a prediction yet. I will say I do want Crawford to win. But I haven't officially given a prediction, because between today and tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a breakdown of why I think each person will win, why I think Bud will win, why I think Canelo will win. And I'll be breaking those things down, and eventually we'll have a prediction for the fight. But I will break the ice and say I do want Bud to win. And one of the reasons why I want Bud to win is because I like to think that I'm growing up, or I grew up, or am living in the time that's the greatest time ever, the greatest generation. I was able to witness Jordan, Magic at the end, Michael Jackson, um, all time greats, But one of the things I never witnessed as a boxing fan was a lot of the great things that Roberto Duran did. I was able to go back and watch it after the fact, but not in real time. And to see things like that happen in real time is different than when you go back and watch it. You don't get the gist of the atmosphere. You don't get the nitty gritty of what's actually going on during that time when you go back and watch it, later on. And so I would love to be able to see Bud Crawford move up 2 weight classes. And no disrespect to Roy Jones, but unlike Roy Jones, beat the best person at that division when you move up. And like I said, that's no disrespect to Roy Jones. Roy Jones is one of my favorite fighters of all time. But I just want to be able to say I saw this, history. I watched history in the making. And that's one of the reasons why I want Bud to win. My second thing was, I just let you know that I'm not biased. I keep it a bean. Bud Crawford says that everybody doubts him, and nobody nobody gives him the credit that he deserves, and they always say that he's not in big fights, and he don't sell, and he don't have a personality and all of this other stuff. And he said, look what I did, look what we did. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but both of your biggest fights, Errol Spence Jr. and Canelo Alvarez, you aren't the show. You are the B-side. B-side Bud is what I call him. Now, once again, that's no disrespect to him. I just like to keep it a buck. Regardless of who my favorite fighter is, regardless of who I like, I do like to keep it a bean. This atmosphere wouldn't be this atmosphere if it wasn't for Canelo Alvarez. Just like the last atmosphere wouldn't have been that last atmosphere if it wasn't for Errol Spence Jr. And I just would want Bud to keep it a buck, to keep it a stack. I get it. It's hard when people down your accomplishments and you feel like you got to stand up for yourself. So I definitely understand it. I just keep it a bean. This fight is as big as it is because it's Canelo. If Canelo was fighting David Benavidez, he would have this turnout. If you were fighting Jamel Charlo, it wouldn't be the same turnout. So I'm just keeping it a bean across the board. There are no favoritisms on this channel. Even though I do have favorites, I keep it a stack. Um, but I did just want to come on here and give a brief summary of the press conference. I hate it. It was empty. I hated this Dana White format. It's just garbage. Turkey sitting next to Canelo stood out to me because whose side are you really on? The close scorecards was a great question because it's true. You know what I'm saying? And as much of a Canelo fan as I am, he do get the benefit of the doubt. Canelo being calm was something that I expected. And B-side Bud. Those were my topics. That's what I took from this press conference. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know how you feel about this video. Let me know if you had the same sentiments, if you saw the same things I saw. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. As I said in my last video, I'm new to this thing, but I'm gonna be true to this thing. And until next time.